Yeah. So that could be Badal ji, Jyotsna ji. So anyone then, Chitra ji and me. Nandini, Swapna, Shreya, Priyanka, anyone who wants to start is most welcome to start. Yeah.
The one who speaks the least.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Badalji, would you like to share anything that you are smiling, you know? You're
I
giving.
was going through the shloka Upanishad, and I was trying to understand the meaning. But it is referring again Bhagavad Gita. Then again in Bhagavad Gita, particular shloka that was linking the other shlokas. So like that, it was going actually. So I was reading this. So if you want, then I can start off that some particular shloka only.
Yes, yes, please start.
Uh, the shloka Ishopanishad, shloka number 2, second shloka. Kurvanne deha karmani jiji visichatang shamaha evam tayi nannathe tosti na karma lipate nare. So the meaning of this word meaning has been given. The person who wanted to live for 100 years, uh, he's eager to live for 100 years. He has to do something. Uh, mm, the karma, the work, what he will do, that will not be uh, as per the shastra, means not as prescribed by shastra. So he will do something which is not in pure form, and so he will be engrossed in that work which is unwanted. So it's given in Bengali, so I was trying to translate until. So this is the meaning. So that means the person he has decided, rather he has only will to survive for 100 years, right? So naturally that karma what he will be doing, it will not be as prescribed by the divine or any literature to that effect. So this was the meaning which I could get.
So yes, we can talk about this particular one. I'll just put it on the screen and so that everyone can see it, and then we can take it up from there. Yes. So this is what you just shared. The second one, doing verily works in this world. One should wish to live 100 years. Thus, it is in thee and not otherwise than this that action cleaves not to a man. So usually the way we obviously, I'm not any authority on this, so just feel free to share. I'm just sharing my own reflections here. So how I related with this particular one was that usually, whatever we do, it sticks to us. Any action that we do, it just sticks to us in a way. Although we may have done with a lot of fervor of self offering, but something in us is so sticky that still it takes it on ourselves. We take it on ourselves that I did that action, so it sticks to us. But here it is said that, and in the first one, it is said that all this, all the manifestation, all this is for habitation by the Lord, or truth, or peace, or progress, take any name, or perfection. Whatsoever is individual universe of movement in the universal motion. So all the movement, all the prakriti, all the play of nature, it is all for the habitation by the Lord. Yeah, by that renounced thou should enjoy, lust not after any man's possession. So they start with this, that it is for the Lord that we should live. And where we say Lord, there can be several names to the Lord, synonyms. It's not some other divine which is separate from us. It is yearning for truth in life, progression, perfection, beauty. All this is Lord. Peace, contentment, joy, this is all Lord. So, and then the second one, then he says, now what is the way of living? Doing verily works which adhere to truth, works which are in alignment with my inner truth, where I know that yes, this work that I am doing, this action that I am doing is in welfare for the other person and for me. So this is in alignment of truth. Doing verily works in this world. Now how should one live? One should wish to live 100 years. No wonder that when we are just living for me and my story, we usually fall into a depression. When our life is just captured by mere saath nahi ho raha, my life, my wants, my desires, we fall into a deep depression. We have suicidal thoughts then. Yeah, because that is not the way to live. He says the way to live is this, and then we should live for 100 years, because wow, I am being a servant of the divine and I want to live this life. Now there are no suicidal thoughts in my head. Yes, I know there is a lot of work to be done in my prakriti, but it is the work of Lord that I am doing. So why should I crave for a suicide, or ending my life so soon? Thus it is in thee and not otherwise. So iske alawa koi chara nahi hai. We don't have any option than this. This is the only path to be undertaken, to live for truth, to live for a deeper perfection in ourselves and outside ourselves. Thus in thee and not otherwise than this, action cleaves not to a man. So when we live like this, then we actually live a liberated life. It is not sticking to me. I know that the journey is from darkness to ignorance. That is the journey. So why should I be ashamed of my faults? Because this is the journey, that my faults have to get transmuted to some beauty and perfection. Yeah, so this is how I related with it. And please, rest of you, all of us, please share anything comes.
Actually, this Isha Upanishad is a very important in the sense. From this Upanishad only Sri Aurobindo brought that life divine, actually, whole of life divine. Yeah. Even mother also, gave much importance to this Upanishad. She translated it in French, it seems, actually. Because each and every verse, it is not, totally connected. But if you read one single verse itself, it gives a lot of meaning to us. Each and every verse is only 18 verses are there. You can also easily memorize that, actually. Yeah. This second one now you discussed, this is ashram, Sri Aurobindo ashram. This is really all are doing works and really lived for long years. This is really ashram. Yeah. And also I don't know whether that incarnate bit I will read out lastly, because I have that book translated by Sri Aurobindo. In that, he beautifully gave in guru-disciple conversation, actually. It's very beautiful. I'll read out. Let all of them share their ideas and I'll read out last. Yeah.
So the last line in this shloka, this one, and in this way, action cleaves not to a man. We all talk about nishkam karm or detached action. And here it is very clear, although we have to remind ourselves again and again, yes, but it's very clear that without this as a possibility for our life, it is not possible that the action will not stick to me. Otherwise, all the actions will keep on sticking to me. If I am not living for the divine, actions will stick to me. But once I choose this path for myself, there is an increasing greater possibility of doing nishkam karm, knowing that all that I do is the work of the divine. And hence, I'm just a kind of not even a mediator. I'm just जैसे कहते हैं ना, निमित मात्र. Yeah. So anyone, anything or else? Chitra ji, please then go ahead and share.
I will read that actually. Share with those explanation. Kurvaneva that for this slogan, no, Kurvaneva karmani jijivishet chatam samaha evam dvai nanyade dosti na karma lipyade nare. So his explanation: do thy deeds in this world and wish to live thy 100 years. 100 years is the full span of man's natural life according to the Vedas. The Shruti therefore tells us that we must not turn our backs on life, must not fling it from us untimely, or even long for early release from our body, but willingly fill out our term, even be most ready to prolong it to the full period of man's ordinary existence, so that we may go on doing our deeds in this world. Mark the emphasis laid on the word kurvan by adding it to eva. Verily, we must do our deeds in the world and not avoid doing them. There is no need to flee to the mountains in order to find the self, since he is here, in you and in all around you. And if you flee there, not to find him, but to escape from the misery and misfortune of the world, which you are too weak to face, then you lose the self for this life and perhaps many to come. I repeat to you that it is not the weak and the coward who can climb up to God, but the strong and brave alone. You used to tell, no, this always, yeah. Every individual Jivatman must become the perfect Kshatriya before he can be the Brahmin. This is the thing I want to share today because this is shared in those explanations.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Beautiful, no?
This Kshatriya, this is the last line is so beautiful. Every individual Jivatman must become the perfect Kshatriya before he can become the Brahmin. Beautiful. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. I think this again would refer to what Kabir ji talks about, the warrior spirit, and what Sri Aurobindo talks about, the Aryan spirit, the Kshatriya spirit. Yes.
I read it so many times, but when I read this today, I really remembered these lines, the warrior spirit. Yeah. You used to emphasize no always. Yeah. Very nice.
Unless you're a warrior, you can't be a Brahmin.
Beautiful.
No way. I was reading, I'm searching the page back again. I was just now reading whilst waiting for class that how we are born with a family and then we seek our real family, and how we meet, we seek like-minded people and we start making them our family, which turns out to be much closer than the real family we are born with. And yet our own family resists and gives us so much of resistance in not thinking in the same manner, that you have to stand up to be a Kshatriya, the Monica warrior, and then only you can, and then the page got lost. So I cannot find it. But the explanation, mother says the same thing. The Japanese also think this way. I don't know if you have read it anywhere, but they have what is called the inner family and the outer family. The outer family is the family you are born with, and the inner family is the family you create of your own choice. They explain it very nicely in very simple language, saying that that is the family that gives you the maximum input and security.
Mm.
So we should all pat ourselves on the back for being together.
Uh, yeah. So the question here, Jyotsna, if you can, that you read again about mother saying about the families that resist. So why does that happen? I mean, what is the why do what causes this resistance?
The resistance is because we are out of the norm. We are not, we don't follow what should be done that everybody else does. If 5 women meet, they will gossip, they'll talk ill, they will eat, they will talk of all material things. And that's not the kind of life that we want to live. So you think that this is, a waste of time, or this is useless talk. And it begins like that.
Mm.
The war begins at home always, because either your spouse and family lets you alone as a gone case, or you have to fight not to be inclusive with them, and you have to stand up by your own principles. And in the bargain, there is a very subtle passive change which occurs in all the onlookers around you. I mean, maybe they don't join you, but they start to accept a little. But mother
Oh.
very
Very
distinctly
well
says
said,
that you've
Josna
got to
ji.
be a
Yeah,
warrior.
very well said. Very clear explanation. Yeah.
No, and I am sure each of us, if we really ghuso into the path, we all face a very stiff resistance to the point of ridicule. Arey, you are not doing anything constructive. Pata nahi kya philosophy jhaadti hai. It goes like that. But then, Nandini, it makes sense. Everybody in their lives has gone through it to go onto the path. I don't know what Monica will say about it.
So, Nandini, what do you think? Because the question that you asked at this, that why do we face resistance, especially from our immediate family? What are your thoughts on it?
So exactly what I think Jyotsna said was that the resistance is so huge. Like typically, I get to hear quite often that all this is just over my head, right? Uh, so one is obviously because there's a constant need to be productive. Either you're not working, or the sometimes your own the chores of your home, or doing something that is not up to the mark. You get it? So it is not fulfilling somebody else's expectation of what they have, or you're not being the perfect, not the perfect, but uh, the household member of the family. So these are things that keep coming up. And mm, not to not to like yes, I get expectations are there, but then again uh, uh, your this desire is like how Jyotsna said, no, there is no materialistic in it, and therefore there is no glamour to it. So it is, yeah, looked upon like, oh, hawa mein chalte hain log. So which I do face. So I sometimes do uh, yeah, I do face it. And that is where, but this is what brings me joy. and I can't explain that to, everyone. And sometimes, yeah, you end up probably being, and it saddens you at that time, no, that you wish that at least your own people would understand that. So it's not, it's not the fancy cars, it's not the fancy house, it's not the, the, yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that that is not your path of that leads to joy. I'm happy, I'm, grateful, but it's not what brings, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think it also brings us conviction, because are we really sure that this is my path? Because if somebody said something or ridiculed me, as Jyotsna ji was sharing, and I stopped, I started to having second thoughts. Okay, whether should I walk this path? Should I not walk this path? Log kya kahenge and all that. So I think it also brings us conviction that whether I get approval. Usually we are all seeking approvals all the time. Yeah. So it gives me a kind of a new kind of a life, whether given approval or not. I know that this is the path for me. So I would say it's an inner knowing or an inner conviction that irrespective of any handicap of anybody's approval, no matter if they are so close to you, and that is why it matters, because usually if you see how astrological charts are placed, husband's chart is always opposing. It's extremely opposite to the wife. That is how it is. And I think it's there for a reason, because one needs to learn from each other. We cannot always stand against each other and keep on hitting at each other, that you are wrong, I am right, these kind of things. So we have to almost, I think this is on a purpose, that we are giving a family which is standing away from us like this, as if resisting us, because it builds us strength, it gives us strength. So that's why a gratefulness comes into me, that thank God for your resistance, because then I would not have known what I truly wanted. So it's good that you stood against me, because that gave me more and more conviction that yes, even if you stand against me, you who I love the most, or who you are so blood related to me, even if you stand against from me, I will walk this path no matter what. So I think this actually is done as if it appears like a grand plan, that some opposition has been purposefully put in front.
Put in place,
And there
right?
are people who say that, I don't know how far it is true. There are people who say that those people in our lives who act like villains are actually our bestest soul friends. That is what
Yeah.
they say, because they agreed to be villain in your life so that you could grow through those experiences.
Yeah.
No, because no one else was ready. Only this, your closest soul friend, was ready. Okay, for your growth, I am ready to be a villain. So there again a kind of a gratefulness comes, that good for you to stand against me, because then only I found my ground, or the path that I want to walk. Yeah.
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 It's true, because I think there is one of these passages somewhere I had read long. I mean, it keeps floating around a bit. So the black sheep of the family is the one who's walking the opposite path, because it is breaking down patterns of ancestors, it's breaking down patterns of, and that is why you end up being called the black sheep, or however, because it takes a lot of courage to also, uh, I guess, do that. So
Exactly. And in the
yeah.
beginning, it may appear that we are the black sheep. Actually, it is leading to our blossoming. Each one
Right.
is special, and it is just leading me to find my inner truth more and more, because I don't want to be there. So what do I want to be? What do I want to be? What resonates? What gives me joy? What is the deeper calling? So it asks me again and again to question myself further if there are people standing against me. So I think as Sri Aurobindo in Synthesis of Yoga, he synthesizes everything. And there is a little experiment which mother, or I don't know if Sri Aurobindo, so they share that pick up any, to expand your mind, to expand suppleness of your mind, pick up any opposing thought, that somebody is saying God exists, and you are saying no, God does not exist. Pick up these two thoughts, contemplate on it, reflect on it, and then you will see they are both coming together, merging.
Together.
Yeah. And this is what they also call as supramental harmony. Not this one, but in supramental harmony, everything is, in harmonized, even if on the face it may appear as opposing in nature. Then there is no hate and envy or
Yeah.
jealousy required from anyone. Everyone becomes
Right.
a friend. Even the enemy was a friend because he gave you the strength to stand up for yourself. Yeah.
So what probably the struggle part of it is that to reach this supramental harmony, then you have to pick your battles, right? And there are some battles that you don't want to. You just want to let it be, because it's not about trying to prove or getting approval. It's just something that, let me be in this place, you be there too, but yet at the same time, can we coexist, like what you said, right? So sometimes that struggle is there, that you don't want to pick those battles.
Yeah, it's the journey is not easy.
Yeah.
I think all of us know that. And the thing
Right.
is that we are so used to live like this, poking into each other affairs. This is called a normal life, when you are into each other's affairs and interfering too much. But then if we have to now be like this, standing apart, yet in kind of compassion with for each other, it takes time. It just does not happen like that in one day. So yeah, it's challenging, no doubt.
Right. Thank you.
Nandini, there is one more thing that you will realize as time passes and the each event or each individual who helps you go stronger on the path, there's a kind of a peculiar inner strength, a conviction which comes into you that this is what is for me. I I have the strength to go to climb to the next ladder, next step. And then something worse happens by someone closer, something unexpected or shocking, and you say, but no, I still feel this is my way, this is my path, I must carry on. And you actually carry on, and as you go ahead, your strength, inner strength of that warrior business becomes much stronger till you come to a peace. You don't contemplate that why so and so doing this, or why. It's okay, I'm doing this, and I as long as I don't trouble anybody else, I'm fine. You'll go.
I also want to add that you can have family members, including next, not even just your immediate family, but beyond to extended family in this yoga, sometimes for absolutely decades and decades and decades. And they can be your hardest challenges. And it can be the hardest work, and some of the most painful things happen between all of you. And it can sometimes feel even more painful because you're like, how can this be when we're all following the mother and we all love the mother? But still, that's how devious, I shouldn't say devious, I'm teasing mother, I can't tease her, but I'm just saying that's how it is. It's like, even there's no getting out of it. If there's something to be learned, it comes by hook or by crook. Whether you're all in this yoga or you're opposed to it, it doesn't matter.
Yes, beautiful, Swapna. One thing, when Josna ji was talking about warrior spirit, there are two levels of, I believe, at least at the moment, what I can see. One warrior spirit is needed, that no matter who is standing against me, I will walk my path. Yeah. The other and more important warrior spirit is that I have to stand against my tendencies. This is the bigger challenge. It's not that difficult to stand against others. The difficult part is to stand against my own tendencies and patterns of thought and emotions, because there we don't even recognize that we have an enemy. So that a bigger kind of a maya even there, because this, I think, okay, my mood is me, how can I stand away from my mood? This is even a bigger challenge, that to stand apart from my mood and to see it as something external, as Sri Aurobindo says, to see desires and moods as something external and you are here standing a bit stepped back from them and saying, now I'm not going to listen to your dictates. I have fallen on my nose enough number of times.
Mm.
I think this requires even a greater courage, because it pulls us down again and again, and we lose many times. We just we are down in the darkness and slums, owing to the fact that I think that my mood is me, my desire is me, and hence I am
Mm.
allowed to go into the darkness again. So this is even a bigger enemy living in the house.
Yeah.
And here the warrior spirit has even to shine a bit more.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Also, there is a verse in Isha Upanishad also, 5th verse, I think. Yastu sarvani bhudani atmanyeva anupashyataga sarva bhudeshu chatmanam tadona vijagupste. I actually, I tried to follow that, but not at, I mean, could not. Tadona, don't hate anyone. Yeah, tadona vijagupste. Yeah.
So is it this one, Chitraji?
Tatrako moha kaha shoka. Fifth one, I think.
Fifth one is that
Yastu
move.
sarvani.
Yastu Sarvani. Okay, so that is
Yeah, fifth.
that is
Yeah.
yeah.
Yastu sarvani bhudani. Yeah, atmanyeva anupashyati.
Yeah.
Sarva bhudeshu chatmanam tadona vijugupste.
So it said that.
But he who sees everywhere the self, yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead.
In all existence. Yeah, but he who sees everywhere the self in all existence and all existence in the self shrinks not thereafter from aught. Really, my personal thing is I have not yet even moved an inch in this actually. Yeah, could not. Yeah. Because whenever the opposition comes, yeah, I used to lose my temper also.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's not easy to follow this.
Yeah.
Absolutely with you.
Maybe after some time I will settle down. Yeah, it will be like that only. But that moment I will react. Yeah.
Yeah,
that is the
yeah.
problem.
And I think that is our journey, and that's why the warrior spirit needs more to be towards my own self rather than to the others, because there I realize that they are my mitra, they are not my enemies. They are doing me a favor by standing against me, so that I come closer to myself. And when I see slowly, gradually in our own time, when we begin to see this, that, oh my God, their standing opposing to me is given me so much of benefit, then it is easier to see God everywhere. Otherwise it's very hard, too hard. Yeah.
I could not see that, feel the God is there in them actually. That is the problem for me. I could not see actually. I could not feel or see. I sat and analyzed it actually one day. So Sri Krishna is in everyone. Okay. How can I accept that surface love is very, I mean, raw? I don't know. I'm really praying to Mother to give that wisdom actually.
Somewhere Mother has mentioned, no, Chitradi, that when you are pitted against a person whom you dislike, you should, it may for some time be a little detrimental to you, but you should try to go into that person's position and his mind, or his mental make, and see things from that point of view, and you will find that always what fear you have in yourself is what you are seeing in him, and so you are hating it. I have tried very hard to see when I get angry with somebody on something, that I'm searching it in myself. But I guess very often we cannot decipher it. I keep saying, like, say, for example, somebody is a boozard. So then I said, I dislike this kind of behavior or something. What, am I one like that, or do I think that way, or would I have enjoyed had I done this? Some things don't fit, but I sort of would say that it is because of our inability to comprehend completely uh, that way of thinking and understanding as to what the other person is thinking. Maybe we are incomplete somewhere in our
Yeah, sure.
analysis, you know.
Yeah. Definitely,
I mean,
definitely.
I blame myself that it's my inability to understand or decipher. So, of late, I have been trying a little harder, with the result that all my two family members take good advantage of me because I have stopped shouting. They say, yeah, she won't, she's with mother. She won't, pop, do what you want.
I think we become our biggest blind spot. Our vital rush, the vital vigor, and our mental rigidities, that becomes our blind spots. So we are not even able to this, the expanded view or the larger view, or looking into what other person is feeling or why he's saying. I think the vital rush is so strong that it just absorbs me so completely that it's hard to step back in the rush of the moment and to see that, okay, let me see what the other person is trying to say or where is it coming from. It's very, very challenging. Yeah, very challenging.
Yeah.
I think that just tells us that so much is to be done on us. Where is the time to look to others and find their faults, where we have so much of material to work upon. So I think that any external trigger just gives me a raw material to work upon myself, whether that external trigger is coming from my family, my thoughts, desires, or from the world anywhere else.
Very true.
Yeah, so much to be done. Yeah.
Because Prahlad thanked the Hiranyakasipu, no? I mean, that is a very big thing actually. Prahlad thanked Hiranyakasipu, no? To go inward and realize Narayana. Prahlad actually thanked his father, even though he tried to kill him and all. This is a very good story to follow actually. I mean,
Beautiful, beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting. Never knew that aspect of the story that he thanked. That's good to
I
know.
used to always think about it, but yeah.
I was talking to a friend today. Yeah, Josna ji, please share, because then it'll change maybe. Yeah, the direction.
You
Please.
continue.
Okay. So I was talking to a friend and we were talking about whether words have any importance per se or does not have any importance, because he shared that I was listening to, when I listen to these talks, then I am uplifted. And suddenly I was listening to a Bollywood song which was full of sadness and some kind of a story, and somehow it took me deeper into my pain. So then we were talking about whether words have any importance or words, something beyond words has importance. And then we were just talking about it, that how a guru, so-called guru, who is a established guru or a mentor, how he gets a lot by the questions by the students. Just like you were saying that Prahlad got a lot from Hiranyakashipu, although it may appear that Hiranyakashipu is all evil and Prahlad is all good, but it is so true that a guru, for example, a question which is asked by a disciple, which is very engaging in nature, it is coming from the depth of pain and suffering that the disciple may be going through. When the question is put forward to a guru or a mentor, the guru has to actually go deeper into his self if the question is challenging enough, and touch even greater depths and heights in order to be able to answer that question. So it is as if the clap is with both the hands. So the guru, it seems on the surface that the guru is giving something to the sishya or the disciple, but it's not truly only that, because the sishya asking such interrogative questions is asking the guru to go in even deeper into his self and to find an answer out. So it appears that it's only a one-sided game, but it's totally a two-sided game, and both of them are moving towards deeper and deeper and heightening of the being. So jaise kehte hain, the clap is always with two hands. So just wanted to share when you were sharing that Prahlad, thanked Hiranyakashipu. Yeah. So anyone else? Snehi, Swapna, Luba, if you have anything to share, please go ahead and do share. Nowadays, we have also been talking, especially with Swapna and Shreya, about this because we are doing this course, pain and suffering. And the mother suggests that mother has talked a bit about power of thought. She talks about that usually we are just swayed away by thoughts, like a cork is tossed away by waves on the surface of water. But if we really put effort into it, we can slowly begin to master our thought. It's not that any thought will come and I will begin to think about it, not like that. So we have been talking about this, and thanks to Swapna and Shreya for discussing it so intently. And it's so beautiful when we listen to our inner dialogue that goes on in our head throughout the day, and especially to pick up those thoughts which are very negative and dark in nature. The moment they begin to enter the consciousness, to kind of be on high alert and to immediately reverse it. Mother talks about the power of auto suggestion. So she tells a story of a lady who was losing her hair, and then a doctor suggested that when you are combing the hair, you tell that my hair are growing beautifully. And it's not it begins with the mental thought that, okay, I'm just saying it although I don't mean it really, but then I have to really take it very deep. How would I feel if my hair are beautiful and growing? How would I feel? And you have to get that feeling in the body right now. You will feel full and content. So anytime any worry comes into my head through thought, the moment I notice that worry coming, I'm experimenting with this nowadays, and it's beautiful to experiment. The moment you notice a worry coming in, you immediately transform it. So for example, if you are concerned about a relationship, so what makes you feel more joyous? This, that, oh my god, what will happen to us, the relationship, or we will be ever together, or what will happen? Or mother is there, and she will take care of the relationship. She will do what is best for each one of us. So the moment you reverse or do something like that, you offer it to the divine, a relaxation comes into the being, and you are no more in the negative loop of thought. And not only that, you are making it happen for yourself, you are also very relaxed in your being, that while you could have been in pain and suffering, you completely changed the loop, and now you are feeling okay, that I don't know better, maybe this is for good, and mother will take care and show us a harmonious way. Mother will take care and show us a harmonious way. So just wanted to share that also, because it's a beautiful experiment which we can all kind of notice whenever there is a negative loop, to immediately change it, because mother says that we have the power to change it. So why not use it? Yeah. And in the beginning it may appear just like a drama, that if you know that the relationship is going bad, still you are saying, all shall be well, all shall be well. So in the beginning it appears like a drama, but everything is a drama. So why not create a beautiful drama? Yeah.
I have experience. Yeah, definitely it has effects, really. Even one of the prayers and meditations, I think she emphasized that actually. If you read the prayers and meditations itself, when you pray for others, again and again, if you read the prayers, there are effects actually. You can see solid, yeah. These tussle and fighter, compared to that thing, larger thing, these are minor only actually.
And when you begin to pray, for example, you are just walking and thoughts are coming, you say, you transform it, you say, okay, I will pray for peace and harmony, for example, for the earth or everyone around me or whatever. Actually, you see very interesting things. One of the interesting things that I saw was that, for example, if you expand your prayer, first you take your immediate circle, then you go into your relatives, then you go into your friends, if you try to do that, you see that there are people in your life who you actually don't wish for them peace and harmony. So you suddenly realize that, oh my God, why am I not able to wish peace and harmony for this person? So that is our weakness. You immediately you notice that weakness, and you almost kind of push yourself that yes, peace and harmony for all, peace and harmony for all, no matter whether it is a person which I like or dislike. So it's very interesting observations when we begin on this prayer thing, that we are praying for everyone around us. Yeah.
Somewhere Mother mentions that when you are in a quandary like this and you are facing conflict, you just say, you just surrender it to me and Sri Aurobindo, and then you walk away. You give it, and then you just forget about it, that you even gave it to me, but you don't think about it. I'm trying this technique at present. The things that trouble me, that which are beyond my control or which I cannot change, but I have to live with or whatever, I just surrender them. Say, Mother, these are at your feet. Now your feet have become heavy, but I'm going. And I leave it. And a kind of a peace comes onto you that it's not my burden anymore. I don't have to deal with it. And it's surprising. It's total peace. So I have developed the technique of,
Yeah.
आप लीजिए, हम चले.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. The problem is that what happens, that we give one time to the mother and then we take it back. We have such a impulsive habit of thinking about things that although I have given it to the mother, yet I take it back from the mother. Mother, let me think about it a little, and then it has to be offered back again. Yeah.
That is the mind game, no? Actually, that impulsion. Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that. But again, as you said, auto suggestion. I cut it off that thought and again surrender.
Yes, moment by moment, moment by moment, because I see that I do take it back from the mother. I see that clearly.
Yeah.
So although in one moment I may have completely given it to the mother, and for few moments I am relaxed, I'm not thinking about it, but then somehow ashas and trishnas, all these attachments are of that quality that they come back again. They come back again. So my task is that the moment they come back again, I don't give into thinking about them. I just auto suggest and give it to the mother again, that mother, you know the best, I don't know what is the best, you will harmonize the thing, you will take care. So I don't go into that negative loop of thinking which worries and gives us anxiety. Yeah. So
From warrior to this thing we have come actually. Yeah.
sorry, please once again.
No, we started from a warrior actually. Yeah, we go a very big ground. Yeah.
And we came to surrender finally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anything, anyone? I may have to leave on time today, not after. So 8:05, I would like to leave. So if there are any reflections, any sharings, please go ahead.
You're supposed to explain one thing.
Yeah, I already did that now. We talked
That is
about
the
that.
one which you
Yeah.
spoke about.
So Badalji already started with that.
Acha,
Yeah.
that's the one.
The
Okay.
second one. Yes. That's what was there. I think this again also refers to surrender, plus also a warrior spirit, because here is the tendency back again hitting at you, and you are saying, I am not giving in, I am not giving in. So you are actually, the warrior is surrendered warrior. That's why he's a warrior. Yeah. It's interesting, today We were talking, as I was sharing with a friend, we were talking, and uh, he was thinking that one point will come, then I will have found a treasure, and then there would be no reversing. And we were just talking about that we were saying that we feel that somebody has something more than me, and we were just reflecting and sharing about that. There is no one little treasure that you can find and once and for all you are enlightened. There would always be deeper and deeper treasures, deeper lights, deeper wisdoms, and there is no end to this path. And I think that is also the adventure, the beauty of this adventure, that it never ends, not even in this lifetime, not after that. And it gives us an aim for a whole of a lifetime, that there is so much to be done, so many depths to be traveled and heights to gain, that there is no end to this game. Yeah.
This is a
One of the
never-ending
sessions I
journey.
heard, you did.
Yeah, Jyotsna ji.
Yeah, आप बोलिए. Chitra di, talk.
Okay, in one of the sessions, I heard actually integral yoga itself is a grace, that rejection, aspiration, rejection, and surrender make us grace worthy. Those things, yeah. This is like a mantra for me now. Yeah.
One thing I noticed when I used to go to ashram, or otherwise whenever I would uh, be in quiet contemplation, I always used to talk to the mother. She's more approachable and she's more friendly. Whereas I had a kind of a fear or a kind of a distance from Sri Aurobindo, because he's too learned and, you know, very serious looking and all. So I put that across to one of the senior ashramites when I was there on my 60th birthday 3 years back. And I said, you know, I'm not so friendly with Sri Aurobindo, because he maintains a very stiff distance. And, you know, they told me, uh, he is the one who inspired mother to mother all of you. So you will be closer to the mother always, because all the naughty things she covers up for you and she doesn't give you the rules. But he had to spell out the rules. It was then that I understood that yes, I can approach Sri Aurobindo's works with a little bit of, you know, little care or caution. But with mother, you can bargain. Do you feel so?
For me, somewhat they are like father and mother. Actually, for me, that feeling always is there. Father and mother, yeah. There's no difference for me.
Yeah.
On the surrender, this Ramakrishna Paramahansa, he used to say very simple words, because the different type of people of their background, they used to come. So he used to say the total surrender. So you have to remember about the cat when that his baby comes. So they're closing their eyes and all their eyes are not yet come out or something. So the mother carries the baby, and the baby always mew 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 means always mother mother mother. Total surrender, the 100% actually. If you're feeling hungry also, you just create the noise, the mother comes. And to be transferred from one place to another place, posting. So from one house to another house, so the mother will carry the child and holding the neck behind and the carry. So it's saying that surrender means you have to remember the kitten, and from that kitten you have to take the cue. Like Abdut, now Abdut understood, and there are 40 gurus he had. So he was learning from all the gurus. So when that one eagle was taking the fish away and all the crews were attacking and all this. Then it was so terrible at the time. So he just left that fish from the claw, and then he became quiet. Actually, there was no problem. So similarly here, the surrender means we have to take the cue from the kitten, the total surrender, and you have to have the 100% faith, and then only that surrender comes. So it's very difficult process, because our ego comes, and everyone restricts actually the surrender. Otherwise, nothing can be better than surrender. There's 100% surrender. So we have to practice. Sadhana is required. Sadhana is required. You have to practice for a long time in the open mind, and then probably it comes by practice. Thank you.
Beautiful. Yeah, this example is really beautiful, like kitten, he lets the mother carry it all around wherever, does a meow and the food will be given. He knows that he's protected by the mother. That's really beautiful image. Yeah. Yeah. Comes by sadhana, absolutely. I think more and more slowly we begin to almost recognize that we are weak in our surrender still, somewhere the moment I begin to worry, it means the surrender is not total. Because how would I worry? Because, somewhere I feel that whenever I begin to be anxious about a thing, I have an overconfidence that I know better than the mother. So otherwise, why would the worry exist? Yeah. And the moment I recognize the worry or anxiety about anything, that is my point of sadhana, as Badalji was sharing, that immediately I recognize the weakness and surrender. And I say it again that, mother, you know the best, you will guide me, you will show me the way. And slowly we can, work upon many weak points that we have. Yeah. Towards surrender. Okay, so any last comments? Anyone, any reflections, anything?
I think this is beautiful. You finished with surrender, no? This is
Yeah,
beautiful. Yeah.
great. So take care,
Very
everyone.
good.
Thank you for joining. Yeah, let's
Thank
take
you,
this
Monica.
image.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thank
Beautiful.
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Let's end with surrender.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.